Namaskar, Vanakkam. Road Track Club of Bombay Juhu Beach is back with its second episode of Meri Kahaani. And with me is someone who is very sweet, someone who is very charming, and darling of all hearts, road tractor Himani Desai.
And with me is the very handsome, very dashing, the killer of hearts, Abhishek Bandotkar.
My God, Himani, what an introduction. Thank you very much. Well, after our introduction, it's indeed our privilege that we have two of the most esteemed guests with us. Himani, as you know the concept of Ye Hai Meri Kahaani, we try to get the best out of the renowned personalities, and since we have such esteemed and since it's RCBJB Productions doing it, so we have a little bit of jigs just before we start off, just to make the show a slightly more lighter one. So I recite something and then Hansika follows it.
Okay.
So we do it that way. So I say just one line, and you just follow that line.
Okay. It's a short demo of what entire interview is going to be.
Absolutely. Okay, so Hansika...
So I have to be prepared.
Absolutely, yeah. So Hansika, your line is, it's just a very small line. चंदू के चाचा ने चंदू की चाची को चांदनी रात में चांदनी चौक में चांदी के चम्मच से चटनी चखाई. Go.
चंदू के चाचा ने चंदू की चाची को चांदनी रात में चांदी चौक में चांदनी की चम्मच से चटनी चखाई.
Oh, that's really a good one, Hansika. I think हमने बहुत busy कर लिया. Okay, so Himani will have one shooted for Om. So yes, Himani.
To absolutely eliminate your troubles, here's your tongue twister. Don't trouble the trouble if the trouble troubles you. If you trouble the trouble will double.
Well, you can see the last.
I love this one.
Okay, I think Himani should go.
Yeah,
can you have once more, Himani?
Don't trouble the trouble if the trouble troubles you. If you trouble the trouble will double trouble you.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to tell you. Why are you troubling me?
We are going to trouble you more further now.
Then I'll trouble you back. Don't trouble the trouble.
We'll see about it.
So don't trouble the trouble because the trouble will trouble you. If you trouble the trouble will trouble you.
No.
Okay.
It was a good.
Good try.
It was still.
You
But
made your own tongue twister.
Yeah.
it's still a good round of applause for him. Thank you.
Why are you troubling the trouble? Yeah.
Okay, so you can be rest assured in this candid interview of an hour or so, we'll make sure we don't trouble you at all.
Thank God. I trust you, Abhishek.
Thank you. Okay, so just to start off, it's been almost 10 years with Road Track now. You'll be entering into your 10th year. Seen a lot of Road Track over a period of time. So
True.
Can you just describe how has your Road Track journey been?
Oh, my road track journey has been like a roller coaster. Like I think so. Every journey is a roller coaster. Like started off in 2008 as a member. I didn't expect to be sitting here as a DRR elect. Yes, the journey has been quite fun. It's been a lot of learning, a lot of experiences, a lot of understanding people, understanding how circumstances also helped me in my career. It's also helped me knowing better people. It's also helped me network around. So the journey has been really special. It's been a memorable one. Be it my days at RCHR to come into the big year which is coming up next year. So the journey has been fun. It's been memorable, and one I would expect everyone should go through the journey because you see life. That's what one of my mentors, like Hari, says, right? You can make the mistakes you can't make mistakes in the corporate world. You can make them on road track. So that's what I've been doing since the last 10 years, helping my career. I know what I can do in future. So yeah, I've been with these roles, you just said, with working the district, working so closely with some DRs in the past. The experience has been more. So it's been an experiential journey, which I hope it's now it's my time to replicate and make sure I can give the same experiences to the Rotractors.
I think, as Om rightly said, I think it's been 10 years.
10 years.
So it's like an institution in itself. हम 12 साल की schooling करते हैं, 4 साल का, we have a postgraduate course. So I think it's more than an institution in itself for you.
It is more than an institution for me. It's something really special to me. I breathe, eat, drink, sleep, Rotrack day in and day out. It's like there's not, at least I'm sure in the last 10 years, or there's at least the word Rotrack has come out from my mouth at least 5 times. You can imagine the breathe. My parents and like they're tired of me. Kitna Rotrack kare? But I said I will not stop till I don't think I'm enough. And this Rotrack's not the only point. There's much more to complete in future.
Absolutely. I think as Om just summed it up really well, Rotrack is more like an ocean. No matter how much you swim into it, you always have something or the more to explore, and you keep exploring.
Yes, that's what I've been doing. I've been striving since 10 years.
Fantastic. That's
achieve glory soon.
Fantastic.
So Hansika, almost a decade at Rotrack, from a member to the DRR elect of Rotrack, the journey would have been quite a big one. So how did you enter the world of Rotrack? How did you come to know about it?
Oh, this is really nice to answer. So, it's always said that, the first step that you keep in college, you really don't know where to go. And there was this one desk I saw because Rotrack at Jai Hind had just started, and it was the first year actually that it had started after revival, and they were trying to get Rotrack up. And I still remember the first president at that time was Aanchal. And she was sitting at the desk and enrolling people, and frankly I didn't know anything about Rotrack. The first question I said, are you like going to irritate us, like calling us every time and things like that? And I kept asking her 100 questions, but she was really sweet. She answered to everything that I had, and I think that was the first step to Rotrack. And most importantly, when I got into this, I got into because of people who were in my class in FIJC. So those people joined, and in the first year itself they became directors because it was really fresh and all of it. And I will not deny the fact I also had applied. I got denied because I had silly questions to ask. So they denied my application, and
I think this is one secret we are revealing only at Ye Hai Meri Kahaani under RCBJB Productions. Thank you, Hansika, for that.
But I want to add to this. You should go ask the person who rejected you. Hello, I'm sitting as a How do you feel?
Okay, no. So in that case, most importantly, what happened with me at that point was that obviously I was an immature and I didn't know anything about the movement, what club service was, or community, and what other things was. So I think the position I applied only was wrong, and maybe that was the reason or whatever it was. But I think now I really know what I want to do and where I want to go and things like that. So I think that is more important rather than thinking of what at that point was.
Om, if I had to describe road tractor Om Chawla, how would I describe him? He is one who loves taking risks, or who likes to play safe, who says, okay, aisi musibat aayi, let me just play it safe, let me go through, or let's say I will like to take this risk and then take it. So how do you define that road tractor Om Chawla?
So for me, it's always like planning is very important, right? I always knew in 2009, 8 August is when I decided I want to be the DRR of the organization. So planning is very important for me. And the day I set my eyes on a goal, I will go all out to achieve it. But yeah, getting there is more important. However you get there doesn't make a difference. You take, for example, you want to come to Bandra from town, you take the ceiling or you take the Mahi route. Doesn't make a difference. But getting to Bandra is more important. Exactly. So that's the way I think. So that's the way I work. And that's the belief I have. So you want to get there, you need to get there anyhow.
Team of RCBJP Productions will once again shoot the question and request DRR Electro Tractor Om Chawla not to be diplomatic on our show. How do you define Road Tractor Om Chawla? Is he a risk taker or is he a safe player? Can we have a direct answer from Dilse Road Tractor Om?
So since you really brought the question up, it's a combination of both, right? So you don't, but more the risk taker than, because when I know what I want to do something, I will definitely do it. So the risk taker is, there's a risk. you don't know what you're getting into. There's a risk every day you perform. So yeah, that's the risk you need to take.
Okay.
But also it needs to be the risk needs to be a calculated risk is more beneficial. So it's not like I want to just do it and having no sense of what you're getting into and not just think मेरे को करने का. There also needs to be a calculated risk. So basically a combination of both.
Absolutely. I think now we take that particular answer. You need to calculate your risks and then go ahead. Absolutely. Okay.
So Hansika, being a DRR elect is probably the highest position in road track. You'll have to attend meetings and then events and so on and so forth. So how do you keep yourself positive and energetic all the time? Like, iska raaz kya hai?
Okay, so there is no raz as such, and if it's said that right now you said that I'm very positive in terms of when it comes to coming to events and doing things. Frankly speaking, it's really a task to manage all of that together, because with the life that I'm living as an event manager plus coming back to road track and doing more events in road track, coming and helping other people, I think there's no raz as such. It's just that the passion towards road track is so much that keeps me alive more and wants me to do more. And yes, obviously I had an aim of being a DRR, and I mean DRR elect, more than DRR elect, it's the position of a DRR that's going to give me more of a positive energy to work towards it. Because for me, all the people that I'm working with right now, from Rohan to Om to everybody, I think those guys are the positive energy that I'm getting. More than me being the positive energy, it's them who's giving me the energy, because they are also helping me in my year. So that's more important rather than anything else.
Okay, Hansika. So to sum it up, do I say this statement? It's the position or the title of DRR that is more motivating, or is it the passion to work that is more motivating?
It's the passion towards the road track movement which gave me DRRship.
Oh my
So
God.
whether it was a member, whether I was a president, whether I was a ZRR, I think I worked with equal positivity, equal passion. So I will not say that the title of DRR is more important. I think the tag of RTR is more important to give the passion.
Absolutely. I think Hansika has summed it up really well, because Hansika, I was at one of the conferences and there was some person who said कि doctor बनने के लिए हमें इतनी मेहनत करनी पड़ती है, and then we don't know कि doctor को उतने शायद उतना भी recognition मिलता होगा जितना हमको RTR लगा के road tractor को मिलता है. Because personally I have been to Russia, and I'll also be traveling to Nepal, but the moment you know वहाँ पे road track club है और वो RTR, as you said, you connect within seconds. And I think that touch and that feeling is something which is really important, which keeps the entire movement going alive. Since after Om it would be Hansika who would be taking over. So one thing you like and dislike about Hansika. Sorry, we've been a bit sort of a questions the way we are framed, but one thing you like and one thing you dislike about Hansika.
I'll start with the dislike, right? No, she always like. So with Hansika, like, you really need to like tell her not to do certain things. That sometimes she'll just like say, "Ha, मैं कर दूँगी," and sometimes she overtakes too many things, and sometimes she gets into a mess herself, and then she doesn't know what to get out of it. But then she knows how to challenge it eventually. But the struggle is there, like to take it up. मैं ये भी करूँगी, मैं वो भी करूँगी, मैं ये भी करूँगी, वो भी. But eventually that does get into a lot of mess. And eventually, this I keep telling her, Hansika, do not say yes to everyone. It's not worth it, because eventually we know what is our priorities. You work towards your thing. Everything will come in the path. So that's one thing I keep telling her, and that's one thing I will always tell her. I promise I'll be there in an active IPDR, and I'm going to tell her this is going to be, because I know people will come up. I know what I'm facing through, and she already has a certain limit of download already. So yeah, that's one thing. Do not tell yes to everyone, because it's not worth it after a point of time. And one thing I would like about Hansika, she doesn't she'll always go out of her way and help anyone and everyone, not be it a member at a road track club at the ground root level, or be it not even be at the core team level, or even stepping out of her profile and yet helping the organization. That's what I think Hansika does. So she truly defines the tag of a road track, which is 360 degrees of road traction. So that's what she does.
Oh wow! So Hansika, we now have a tag 360-degree road tractor. Absolutely.
So so that's another way. That's just promoting the vision for next year.
Very well said. Oh. Well, to Hansika.
Yeah.
Now, both of you have come out from an institution-based club to a community-based club. And frankly, even I have myself shifted from an institution-based. I was in 3131 Pune, I was in an institution-based club, and now it was a community-based club. So, Hansika, how do you feel the experience of being in an institution-based club and now in a community-based club?
Okay, so if you have to talk about institution and community, they're two different lives.
Absolutely.
First of all, institution is basically handling 300 students, 400 students, and I used to struggle being a secretary handling 300 people. But frankly, I remember DGP member very well, face-wise, whether name-wise, anything. So I think institution life is more of understanding what you want to do, and community is more to understand that how can this help your career more rather than how it's going to help any other perspective. So in a community based club, you have more people who are working and everybody is striving together to get to the same goal, to achieve the same goal.
मेरे को थोड़ा सा ना इस बात पे कहाँ पे it's really good that we have, and this is one of the suggestions also which I had given to one of the DRs. If you could have जो RRs रहते, if you can have institution based RRs and community based RRs.
Okay, so this we can surely answer, but
So this is so that's RRs is one thing we do not talk about. It's
Yes.
we leave it to the system to talk about,
Absolutely.
and we are no one to change it.
Well, Om, जैसे Hansika was talking about systems, we have heard a lot, and from many of my co-contractors as well, that you are building a lot of systems. You are coming out with a lot of systems, and also a proper training calendar in your year. So, can you just tell us what changes you are planning to bring about, and how is it going to benefit the entire road track movement as a whole?
Okay, so you got it correctly. There's a lot of training which is happening. The organization needs to, the focus is training, right? And like Hansika rightly said, and this is what the belief, even if Rohan was sitting here, would echo the same thing. The focus is always on the ground root level. It's not on the top, because you need to. All of us have come from the ground root level. So if our roots are not strong enough, the building on top can shake. So the focusing is going to be on the ground. Training focus is going to be on training at the ground root level. So next year's HRD team will be monthly. We're planning to at least have monthly to, if not quarterly, sessions for the entire year on different aspects of road track. Not only road track, but if someone wants to develop something. So there's something that we've all joined road track for. We need to start answering that question back. Why have everyone joined road track? This has to be some take back of the organization. So there's multiple things, like if someone wants to learn communication, someone wants to learn Photoshop, someone wants to learn public speaking, someone wants to learn about multiple things like event organization, and someone wants to learn about hardcore social media, digital marketing. So we try to get all those professionals down to the organization and train them and get people, road trackers trained by them, even be it road track specifically, training people about road track, training the different modules of road track. There are new clubs coming up, so focusing on that. There are clubs which are mid-year, but they yet need to grow more. What's the next level? If we see the institution-based clubs which have been sitting on the tops in the last so many years, how could we improve them? So going to be multiple activities that there are multiple levels of trainings which have been planned. The biggest thing coming up in terms of training next year, we coming up with something known as Road Track Academy, which is a big thing which is coming up next year. So training, so like
just to inform again on camera, on Ye Hai Meri Kahaani, RCBJP Productions is presenting this Road Track Academy.
But yes, this is like the plan what we had even shared at pre-pets with all the president-elects, and this is what the plan is. In fact, to be honest, the idea has been loved by most of the president-elects. So even there's a special road track startup kit which is being made, which will even be sent to the Rotary to help to road tractors come. So even in terms of how you abide by the bylaws, how do you start how you start your bank accounts. So every level of road traction to be taught, even the KRA of every director of the club level to even the presence KRA through there, because this is one thing I realized as a DRR for the coming year. Like I've been sitting down with most of my president-elects, already sat down on multiple. We started work in September of last year when I had my first president DRR meet. So I believe one thing I promised her, right, when she was announced, I will give her a organized, professionally developed district trained who will help her in terms of organization. There's no stress of leadership in the organization anymore. The vacuum is not going to be there anymore. So training them, got them multiple programs coming up again in terms of vocational, and so lot of trainings coming up. So there's wait and what out for 2nd of July for the launch.
My God, I mean, just listening to Om, it's really making me feel Rotrack itself, you're making a completely professional corporate circuit type of an organization. Fantastic, Om. Can I still apply for the council? में भी थोड़ी सी जगह है, हो सकता है तो.
Prospective Rotractors who would be willing to come to
Yeah.
Rotract. So, what would be your advice to them if they have access to both the clubs?
Okay, so it depends. First of all, it depends club to club, right? And it doesn't, because every club has a different process. And I'm not being diplomatic, but every club does have a different process. In terms of my experience, is very different. You need, everyone has a membership form. You go up to the desk, fill up your form, submit it. Like some clubs even have an interview to get into the club. They do not just take anyone and everyone. That's what I went through in my years. And yeah, so you fill up a form, get into it. There is so it is more. From going back to my experience, I was part of RCHR before I got my confirmation at HR college. So my sister was already part of RCHR, so I knew I already working for my club level, and so I already filled up my form in advance. So there was more prestige joining RCHR, joining HR college, and that's so every RCHR I will say. So there was a notice board used to put up our names, like how people used to run for college at admission mila. So that was the admission getting into RCHR was more people. So in fact people even like go and ask the principal or a teacher, please get us into RCHR. That's the way of working it was. And in fact I keep getting calls till date. My cousin sister wants to join RCHR or join another institution. That's the way the institution-based clubs work, right? Because in community-based club is more easier, just welcome anyone, but in getting into an institution-based club is more difficult to walk into me.
Well, Hansika, the next question is specially for you. After having been elected after having been the DRR elect, do you feel you have changed your outlook towards life or towards the next year?
Okay,
And
so
if yes, how is it different?
Okay, so my outlook of life has not changed. My outlook in Rotrack has not changed because of the people who I've been with. I've been with them since the last 10 years. So, I mean, whether it's Rohan, it's Om, I think we know each other since 10 years now. And somewhere I still remember having a conversation with him when I had given up on certain things. But there is still a point in time when your outlook towards a certain thing will not change. It will motivate you even more to do better for the next years, because at that time you will be leading and people will be watching you. So it's rather than changing, it's more important to adapt to what you are.
So this is RCBJB in conversation with Rotractor Om Chawla and Rotractor Hansika Sahani. Here we now tune into a short break. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. Currently, we are in conversation with DRR elect Rotractor Om Chawla and DRR nominee Rotractor Hansika Sahani. Guys, welcome to the show. Well, it's indeed my privilege that I have been joined by the secretary of Rotrack Club of Bombay Juhu Beach, Rotractor Shivam Bansal. Shivam, welcome.
Thank you so much, Abhishek. My first question is to Hansika.
Okay.
Hansika, what was your first impression after attending the first project of your first Rotrack Club, that is Rotrack Club of Jai Hind College?
First impression, Jai Hind was technically just starting. So there were not much projects. I think it was more of planning and understanding what Rotrack was all about. And my first thing was the day I enrolled, the next day my impression was they called me early in the morning at 8 o'clock because first year degree college starts at 8 in the morning or 7:30, something like that. They called me at 8 being an FYJC student and they said, Hansika, why don't you come join us, enroll people in Rotrack. I'm like, okay, 7:30 in the morning, are you serious? I was like 15 and for me obviously getting up at 7:30, which I used to do in school, and coming back to college and doing the same thing was little this. Yeah, so my first impression about Rotrack was, why should I get up early in the morning? But then I realized that I never realized that that's going to become life forever. So yeah, my first impression was always that why early in the morning.
But now you have changed that feeling, and now.
Yeah,
how
my
you feel
feeling
about it?
obviously has changed because now no road track projects happen after 10 o'clock. Everything I have starts at 7 in the morning.
Right.
You have to reach because you are heading, or you are a leader, or you are a chairperson, or you are a CL, or something or the other OC member. So the time always starts at 7.
So like getting up early in the morning has become more of a motivation kind of a thing.
Rather than that, I don't sleep. So for me, that is more important because
You don't
till the
sleep
time
at
events don't go get over, by the time I'm home, I know I have to go for another road track project on Saturday, Sunday. So I think that's how it is.
I think मेरा भी first impression I still remember when it was again 7 to 8 years back when I had first day. तो it was an institution based club और उन्होंने कहा कि आके एक बार देख लो, एक बार एक मीटिंग अटेंड करके देख लो. तो मैंने कहा यार ये सब क्या है. मैंने आई टोल्ड द प्रेसिडेंट देन कि यार ये सब तो नहीं होगा, ये थोड़ा मुश्किल है. तो शी सेड ओके एक काम करना है, एक आध मीटिंग के लिए आ जा. इफ यू स्टिल फील देन इट्स योर चॉइस. तो मैंने कहा यार पहले दिन के बाद तो जाऊंगा नहीं. आई फ्रैंकली नो, बस एक दिन कर लिया बहुत हो गया. And trust me, after that, I had the privilege to go to one IDY in Punjab, and since then I have been fallen in love at the moment, and it's just fantastic, as you said, Hansika.
Yes.
And with Abhishek, with you being a travel blogger, dude, you all over, you represent RID 3 Road Track Mumbai, not only 3141 but 3140 all over the country. So that's one thing you really do. You're a great ambassador of the organization, I must say.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Well, Om, since it's been almost 10 years with Road Track, I mean, as I said at the start, it's an institution in itself. So, if I speak of Om Chawla 10 years back and now, how has Road Track changed you as a person?
But Road Track completely changed me. I was a boy to a man, completely changed me. Be it I'm going to highlight few things, right? So, couple of years have defined my road traction, and couple of years have changed me. So, go back to my first year, right? In fact, I was talking to Hansika about first day of road track. My first day of road track was really different, right? I was entered. In fact, I reached late from my own club GP, and that being entering late. I yet remember telling my parents, "Sorry, I'm late." And all. The whole thing from being late to starting to be on time, being more disciplined, being more structured, being more professional. That's one thing how road tracks changed me. And yes, then Rashesh is here when I was the youngest council member. That moved me on and got me like, okay, no, I can do something in life. So that self-belief started settling inside. Getting asked to be on the council then was a really big thing, right? And plus, before that, getting this, that first was really exciting for me. Lot of things happened in 2008-9. So that, you know, being an active council member, being an active general body member, being a part of the Red OC where it all started for me. Then moving on to winning the best road tractor, then being the youngest council member, being district editor. So those years, initially I was finding my feet. Understood the organization better at a better level at the council level. That's what I learned road traction more. But then moving on to Hari's year, the year which changed me, right? That year completely changed me. That Hari Krishna player, I owe my road traction to him. The year I'm sitting as he's my mentor, he's completely changed the boy to that year to make me a more person today that I am, the person I am. Being that self-belief, I can do something, pushing me, telling me, "Oh, you're never giving up." To defining, if I have to call it, like if I was a rock in that time, but I was polished in Hari's year completely. Road traction was thoroughly imbibed in me. Understanding, people started believing me that I could do something, never giving up, traveling all over the organization, never first being a kid like people other think that he's a sober thing, he will not, he's a sober kid, he will not. But with Hari, I started learning to travel to Dombivli, Kalyan, attending. Before the year started, we had like a interest meet for the year which we used to have with that zone, when there's the day when we revived that zone which we started with, Ankit took over. So then a lot of traveling all over, learning to travel by train, which I had never done before. But no, so all that things did start coming to play, like realizing responsibility, people believing you, make sure you respect them and you give them back. So a lot of self-confidence, a lot of personal things gains inside me happened, and like I couldn't believe that I would lead. In fact, Hari and Vinny told me, "Oh my, why don't you think you should take up Zararab Zone 2A?" Like I said, मैं नहीं कर पाएगा, मेरे बस की बात नहीं है. Then they made me believe that no, you can do it, and that's the belief. Then I started believing myself. That's so the self-belief all started coming inside. Everything started moving on. The organization then started growing on me, and that's then Naseem happened, and then the entire organization just been a defining year since then. So that things from there started all, and the main core, my base, I would say that first 2 years finding my feet, understanding the organization. But the way the kickstart happened in 2010-11, and that's the year which Hari's theme was What's Next. it did let me think what's next and did let me think.
Absolutely. I think the whole story, the whole way you have summed up, I think it's been a total transformation from
Completely.
nothing to being a complete individual altogether.
Yeah, completely not caring about anything, but starting to care about people. Started doing so. That year did change me a lot, and I owe it to Hari.
I think this statement of yours will inspire a lot of people, young road tractors.
अच्छी बातें तो बहुत हो गई. We've been all goody and this is good, that is good, ये अच्छा है, वो अच्छा है. But frankly as you said, road track has helped you grow professionally.
Yeah.
But कभी-कभी लगता है यार, it's an added burden यार. क्या है मतलब as हंसिका जी सुबह 7 बजे उठो, अपना एक तो खुद का काम तो रहता ही है, ऑफिस का रहता है, खुद का बिजनेस का रहता है, उसके अलावा ये रोड ट्रैक का भी, इसमें झमेले, doesn't really feel like it's like a burden?
So honestly, it doesn't feel a burden to me. It's like I said, it's been a part of my life, right? You don't feel any part of your life. The day you feel your studies is the burden you never wanted to do, the day you feel your family is the burden you never wanted to do. So road track's always been a family for me. And the day I feel it's a burden, I think so my road traction is going to be ending. It's not a burden for me, right? It's like I think if I've grown in the organization, you need to, because see, I've seen two kinds of road traction, right? There's a road traction pure when we used to call the golden era of road track, which was 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011. So that period was 2011, 12. So that was also considered the golden period. This time the road traction was pure at that time. But yes, I agree, it's not the road traction what we had. But it's time we regain the kind of road traction we had. Like, focusing more on the work and talking more on solutions and talking on problems. Like what you said, this is the jhamila what I want to clean, honestly, and being very clear about it. And we know what we want to do. We will strive to get the clean done. We will do a Swachh Bharat in road track.
Absolutely. As they say, there are two sides of a coin.
Yes.
One is good, one is bad. So let's focus on the good part. Let's leave the bad part.
And that's what I said. That's what previously I said. Right? We need to start highlighting what road track will give back to you and focusing on these other unwanted things. So that focus is going to be on that and not on this. I think so that focus has changed from left to right and used to be let's just focus on straight and let's work towards the goal.
And I think road track itself is one institution. You have so much to learn and so much to grow. So why not focus on those things?
And trust me, like you said, there's so much to grow. Right, today is like I said, the vision for 17, 18 is 360 degrees of road traction. Right, so you learn, grow, perform. That's what it is. Like you have something to cater to everyone. So today, if someone wants to write, you have the editorial avenue. You want someone getting graphical design. You have the digital content. You want social media. We introduce that. You want someone to organize events where the club service, one help society has come. The organization is a diverse organization. It does cater to everyone's needs and wants. So it's just 360 degrees and that's what it is.
Fantastic. Very well said, Om. I must say that.
So Hansika, I'd like to ask you something. Since you are in event management and there are a lot of events happening in road track, has road track really helped you in developing your professional career? Does it play any role in?
Okay, so basically I started event management because of road track. So my career is all owed to road track because once I started doing events in road track, I realized that I wanted to do what I am doing now. Obviously it's a little different doing it professionally and doing it with people who are like your friends and buddies and people you're going to bond with and things like that. When I started going to an event agency and I first joined and I stepped in, I thought it's going to be same like road track, chill, people are not going to say anything. And but the minute I entered, I realized no, you need to be on the computer, you need to decide, you need to make presentations, give it to the client will tell you what the feedback is. So there are a lot of things that happen. Luckily in road track, you don't have to go through, when you're planning the project, you have to ask the core team what the feedback is. You have to ask your team what the feedback is, and then you realize in DRR press segment what actually everybody else thought about the project. So I think most importantly for me, when it comes to career and things, I will obviously give my entire career ownership to road track because that's what told me do event management. After BMM, I never thought I wanted to do event management. I always wanted to be part of an advertising agency. Go there, sit there, do marketing, get people, get a particular client, say okay, account manager संभालो जो करना है you all do. But yes, it changed then, and I wanted to do event management. So that's how I thought of my career.
That's fantastic. I mean, like, I'm sure a lot of people get into their careers with road track. And
Yeah. That's
And
I
it's
think
more like a
that's,
win-win situation. I mean, you
Yeah.
learn and
yeah, because road track has become like that, you know. It gives you career option, whether you are an editor, you can go into news. Whether you are a blogger, you have a blogging chance. And most importantly, road track itself is giving placement offers of
Yes,
those certain
absolutely.
things. So it becomes so much better to understand what you want in career to do. So if you're a club service director, you know you can do event management, you know you can handle certain things. If you are a professional person, you can give workshops. If you are an HRD, you can do training. There are so many things that you can do. And if road track is giving you that platform, how difficult is it to step into the shoe and say I want to take it as a career? And it's always said, from the route that you learn and you give back to someone else, that thing will come back to you.
well, it's been 10 years, almost 10 years. You'll be entering the 10 year in a road track. बहुत लंबा सफर होता है. During the time, कभी ऐसा लगा बस अब बस हो गए
Can I
3
answer
साल
this on this?
3 साल हो गए 4 साल हो गए यार बस कितना रोड ट्रैक 8 साल 9 साल मतलब did you ever get that particular feeling?
So that like I said, it's a roller coaster. The lows do come. Like sometimes you feel like यार बस हो गया career पे focus करो. But then the day I was thinking like छोड़ दो, but road track got me my first job at CNBC. So that didn't make no. There's a belief at home. Okay, Mama, I got my job because road track. Should I?
Okay, again RC BJP Productions. ये है मेरी कहानी. Road track चा Om Chawla got his first job to road track. Yes.
Yeah, so it is there. So in fact, that was my weekend back in the organization. So so there is always a belief, and the focus was always there, right, from 2009 around with the DRR. So that focus was keeping. Yes, you need to work around it. Like I said in the start, you need to work around it and get a way out. We did work around it. And
Wow, fantastic.
Right. So Hansika, you must have a lot of, like everyone does have low points and high points in life. So what were your low points and high points in?
I won't answer that. We know each other's high points and low points very well to answer
Okay,
each
so
other's.
yes, then obviously, yeah, road track always there is one thing that you go low, you go high in certain times. There was a point, I think, completely Om knows about everything that has happened. There was a low point where I thought that I want to just give up on road track and not continue. And but I think that gave me more of an energy when I had that one call, and I would say that I really wanted that thing to happen. That I got a call and they said, "Why do you want to quit on something because of somebody? Start believing in yourself," and that's why I say believe in yourself to understand what you want to do. And I think that is completely work for me. But it took me time, and there were my juniors interns who had joined a little later. They went ahead, they finished their council tenure, but I had still not got it. And today I can say very proudly that slow and steady will always win the race, and there I am now where I have to be.
Well, Om, for you, the next question. You had many positions in road track.
Yeah.
But एक position ली नहीं, because when I was just reading that, एक position was missed out. So why not presidential? I mean,
So if you see, the planning is always there, right? So there's a planning which is always goes right. And so eventually I was never intended to the club eventually, because being part of from my first year, right, like 7 months in the organization, 8 months in the organization, being a part of the district council, immediately being district head in 2009, being my 12th standard. And like from there, like, so obviously that trainer has always been a part of the district, and the club was never a part of it. The club was never a part of the journey eventually. But then, yes, club mein 5 years GPM, and then again being like in fact after 5 years I was a board of director for the first time at BU. And being a part of the Kahaani for the first time at a club level was last year, but already been a part of the district Kahaani previously. So the journey was a little different, but it's been special.
it's been an enriching one, I must say.
It is. But the joke is like people are saying recently, तो DRR के बाद president बन जाए. That's not happening. I said that I pity the DRR then because I'm a PDRR being a DRR. President is not happening. But you always leave one on the top. Yes, the Rotary president might be a very soon option.
Oh, okay. So we have some more secrets revealed at Ye Hai Meri Kahaani.
Yes, sir. Well, secrets being revealed. Yeah.
So, Hansika, I've met a lot of road tractors who tell me that they are not able to give road track enough time because of their work and studies or studies. So, what advice would you like to give them? Like, how should they manage their time so that they can develop themselves personally through road track and also not compromise with work and studies?
See, I think in this term, I cannot give a suggestion to anybody, okay? Because most important over here is that even at a point I was struggling with it in terms of working, giving time to road track, and it's on yourself how you want to manage. If you really want to do something for the community and do road track, you will do it. If you want to do something in studies, you will go ahead and do it. And today I will want to put it also that first time I think I must be saying something like that is I never thought that I would finish my education by finishing my masters, by finishing my graduation, by finishing everything. I did road track with that. I was working when I was studying, and I started working at a very young age. In terms of, I must have been in my first year degree college or something, and I started working. I used to do freelancing when I was in FIGC. I used to participate in dance competitions. I have done everything and still done road track. And see, if you have if you want to do it, you will do it. If you don't want to do it, you will not do it. So I would want to say, I want to tell road tractors one honest thing. अगर तुम्हें कुछ चीज करना है करो, नहीं करना उसे उधर ही छोड़ दो. Because I remember Pankaj sir telling us this: either you rot or you act in road track. Okay, either you rot completely or you act. When you act, it will speak for yourself. So that's more important.
That I think one sentence sums up the entire essence of road track.
Yeah, it's completely
Perfect. Well, since we have had a lot of tight questions, we'll loosen it up a bit. And we have something rapid fire. One of the special editions made by the secretary for this particular session.
Okay.
One thing you do not leave your house without.
Phone.
Okay.
First thing you do after getting up.
Phone.
Okay.
Alright. If you could have only one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be?
One meal.
Yeah.
I think would be the last day of my DRR meal. I mean, in terms everything getting over well.
Okay.
That would be my last meal.
Okay. We get that. We go. Okay.
So, Hansika, books or movies?
Movies.
Movies. Alright, so this is the last question. If you get to date someone from road track, who will it be?
We can censor this, huh? We can censor this question.
Okay, one thing, I will not date anybody in road track because one thing that starts here will never end. It will just go on and it will become like a multiplication. It will become a molecule to whatever, and then it just continues. So I think I will not date anybody in road track.
Okay. Once again, big round of applause for Hansika, guys.
I'm sure this is going to come.
Better coming. Your TRPs might just rise on that question.
Okay.
Yes.
We now have road tractor Om.
Yes.
Okay, Om, and your time starts now. Your lucky charm.
My mom
Your favorite pastime.
being on my cell phone.
Okay. Mountains or beaches?
Beaches.
Beaches, okay. Rumor your near wants to know about. You can censor this as well.
Everyone knows it. I'm a mama's boss, so I have nothing to hide about it.
Okay, fantastic, Om. So this was road tractor Om Chawla and road tractor Hansika Kahaani speaking their minds out. Here on Ye Hai Meri Kahaani, we now take a short break. We'll be back soon with the further edition. Thank you. Welcome back to episode 2 of Ye Hai Meri Kahaani. This is Rotractor Abhishek, and we are continuing the chat with DRR elect Rotractor Om Chawla and DRR nominee Rotractor Hansika Sahani. Welcome once again to the show.
Thank you.
Well, it's indeed my privilege that currently I've been joined with the PR and Marketing Director of RCBJB, Rotractor Rashi. Rashi, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Okay, so now name a Rotractor who has left an everlasting impression on you, and can you please elaborate on the same moment?
Hari Krishnan Pillai. I already said it. Hari has been a everlasting figure on me, and like when we take our names together, it becomes like a godly name, na? Hari Om. So that's what it is. Like the relation is really special with Hari, and not forgetting even Rohan and me, we share a different bond. It's really special. Like today, even if you ask Rohan and me an answer here, and he's sitting somewhere else, we'll answer the same question. That's the telepathy we have between us. Because Rohan and me, we had that journey. It's been 10 years. We planned our DRR ships together. We knew we wanted to, and he had promised me, मैं DRR बनेगा तो मेरा electric बनेगा, and I will call you. So that's the relation. So these two, I cannot pick one, but these two are people who who have always been there for me whenever I need them, in my highs and my lows, and even getting me out of things when, or even telling me, oh, ये गलत गया, ये सही गया. So Rohan and Hari.
Well said, Rohan and Hari. Okay.
Yeah, it's like perfect.
Okay. Hansika,
Yes.
when you start your journey and when you look 10 years later you have become the DRR, you would be taking up the DRR ship. You know, what was the motivation? What really made you feel कि नहीं मुझे DRR बनना है?
Okay, so first of all, it will be my 11th year when I take DRR ship. And motivation, I think, is seeing people who have already done it and understanding that yes, I want to do it. I realized this after my presidency that I wanted to take DRR ship, because the thing of having that collar on you and knowing that you want to make a difference to somebody or someone's life or a movement at a whole, it really changes everything. And I keep telling this to people who come and say, why DRR, why DRR? I say it's not only what you do in club. It's when you come up, when you walk to the core team. I think Rohan gave me the first chance of coming to a core team, and from that time I even got more motivated to be a DRR. So every time I've taken a new step in Rotrack, it's always motivated me to go higher and say no, let's go one step more, let's go one step more. I think even when Om gave me a chance to come to his core team, which I don't know whether it would have happened, because it's not necessary that if you are in one core team you have to go to the next core team. So I think when I got that chance, I actually realized that yes, now it is epitome, let's just take the DRR ship and go with a good year and things.
So something like let's take one step at a time and keep moving.
I think in my entire time till now with you guys at this interview, I've kept saying that it's always one step, and when you finish that one step, take the second one, because if in your first step you tremble or you make a mistake, you will realize that your second foot will also make the same mistake.
Perfect.
So,
And there's a quote, right? Take a single step, 1,000 miles will follow. So you take a single step and 1,000 miles follow.
Perfect. Very well said.
So, I think you have to go to a lot of things to reach to this position. And the major thing what you have to go through is to deal with rumors. And I would like to ask, which is your favorite rumor you have come across?
Rumor? Trust me, I don't bother about them because it doesn't affect me. There was rumors, so there are a couple of rumors ki before the core was announced, kaun hoega core team pe, kaun hoega ye. So someone had in fact predicted my entire core team. So when I went and told that person, अच्छा मेरे को पूरा list ही दे दे, मैं ही कार announce कर लूँ. So when the person came up and asked me, सर अच्छा बोल दे मेरा council भी कौन है, I will not open an application. So the people like to interfere in other people's thing and like to think, always want to show, I know something more. That's the dirt is what I call it. It's called the adulteration, if I don't mind saying it. But yeah, it's the people need to start keeping things to themselves and not. If you know something, keep it to yourself. If you know it for a reason, you do not need to go and say, I knew this and show. And बाकी में मैं डॉन हूँ, मेरे को सब पता है. Yes, if you think if someone is, so I believe anyone pointing a finger at me or the road track logo, I will not spare that person. But I am the DRR, which means District Road Track Representative. I am representing the organization. Any rumor against the organization, I will not spare anyone sitting in front of me. So that's one very clear scenario. Because I love the organization, I respect it to utmost care, I hold it really on top. Somewhere it's become a religion for me also, I have to say that. And yeah, so that's, anyone dare point a finger at it.
Absolutely. I think after a certain point, it does get into your blood.
Yeah,
it
does.
Just becomes a part and parcel.
And there's a pride, right? So we wear the road track logo, we wear it at the heart. You don't wear it anywhere else. If you wear it anywhere else, you're not respecting the logo anywhere.
Perfect, perfect. Very well summed up. Hansika,
Yes.
what role do you feel family, which is one of the most essential parts of anyone's life? I think how important it is to involve your family to be a part of road track. क्योंकि हम सब कुछ करते हैं इसके बाहर, क्योंकि हमें पता होता है पेरेंट्स को या anybody, even if it's your fiancé or anyone whom you are getting married to, कि आपको मालूम है कि as kids आपके बच्चे क्या कर रहे हैं, स्कूल में क्या कर रहे हैं, ऑफिस में क्या कर रहे हैं, रोड ट्रैक में कर क्या रहे हो तुम? So how do you think, how important it is to involve family to be a part of
See,
this?
for me the case has been really different. So when I got into road track, my parents were obviously, they didn't know what I was doing for the first 2-3 years. But when I shifted to the college that I shifted to for my BMM, that is HR, the same year my mom came into HR as an admin.
Okay.
She used to do admin bit and things like that. And that's the time she actually realized what road track used to do. Okay, because she started interacting with road tractors, she started being in charge with them, and now I can proudly say that my mom is completely into road track and she understands. My mom and dad have been there for every installation and everything that I was announced at, whether it was district conference, whether it was anything. Only this district conference is what they missed, but my parents have always been there and I do not deny. And yes, in the start there is always this parental thing that they don't understand what road track is, but after a certain point it's you who has to step in and tell them that this is what I'm doing. And I would want to tell all road tractors, take your parents for at least one project, because that's the time they will realize. During this thing that had happened at Cuff Parade, there was a certain gas blast that had happened in the slums of Cuff Parade, behind Cuff Parade. And that's the time my club decided, when I was a president, that we want to do a project where we give clothes and things like that, because that was a basic necessity at that time. My parents stood up entire night with club members. They understood that club members are doing it because out of passion, and that's the time they realized that yes, she should go to road track.
And I think it's a very proud feeling for you as well, for your parents as well.
Yeah, because what happens with parents is when you're announced or when you're going to a higher position, they always say ye Meri hai.
Absolutely.
Like it's my blood.
Yes.
And every parent does that. It's in today's time, I think every parent does that. If you go even in your work life or wherever you're going higher, they'll say that it's my child who's doing it. So I think if they can say, why can't you say that your parents come there and say ye mere mom dad hai, in log ne mere ko ye help kiya hai. So I think that's more important. If they are encouraging you, it's more important to encourage them also.
Perfect. Very well said, Hansika.
We would like to know, how do you manage your road track life, professional life and personal life?
Very interesting, right? So, advantage for me, right? My parents were Rotarians at one point of time, so they know what road track is. Biggest advantage, my sisters were part of the club I joined eventually, so that made it more easier. And like Hansika said, right, my parents were involved since day one, and they knew what used to be done, and they used to figure out how things used to happen. Because at RCHR we used to have a parents' night. The entire year used to be shown to the parents, this is what your child will go. We used to have the principal there, Dr. Mrs. Indushani there, talk about. So that used to become a biggest advantage for us, and yeah, that sort of worked out for me. Personal life is kind of thing, at least it's become more hectic in the last one and a half years since I got announced as DRR. But before that it was more little chilled out. In fact, so yeah, personal life, if I had to go back, mom and I knew what I do, road track. They like, ki haan kidhar ja raha hai? I said, haan, road track. They don't even ask me anymore, because there are times like I get up in the morning, at around 7 o'clock and I get home by around 1, 2 in the night and they're sleeping and next morning I can get up. So there are days I don't see them for a couple of days, couple of nights. So I talk to them over the phone. That also sometimes when my phone is busy, if I'm in a meeting I do not pick up. So the personal life does really get hampered, but advantage for me, they understand. And yeah, but in terms of career, like I said, I got my first job because of Road Track, and in one of my interviews also my boss asked me that, then in fact the CEO, he asked me, like, he saw my CV, he said, okay, perfect, no questions. He only asked me one question: how do you manage your Road Track life and how do you manage my work? So I said, see, work is like morning 10 to 7:30, whatever. Road Track is more on the calls on the weekend, and if there are meetings, post 8. I said, so that shouldn't be an issue for you. And I said, weekends is Road Track, so weekends, so that work kind of gets managed over there. And studies is on and off. When our exams come up, you just study, like take a break for 2-3 days, just focus on your studies and wrap it up. So kind of managing everything. Yes, the big thing coming up, MBA is coming up, so that's going to be managing that, and DRR is going to be a little difficult. But yeah, I'm sure we can. That's what we do at Road Track. We multitask, and this is one more thing I have to go through. And I'm sure I will try to achieve that also.
Absolutely.
And that's why we also have Ye Hai Meri Kahaani after 8 o'clock. So, yes.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes. We're doing it at prime time. Right? Top league show.
Fantastic. Well, guys, this was Road Tractor Om Chawla and Road Tractor Hansika Sahani speaking out their minds freely in episode 2 of Ye Hai Meri Kahaani. I hope you guys enjoyed the show as much as we did in putting it across to you.